Hello everyone, my name is Marwan Hussein and I would like to welcome you to this new course. In this course we're going to learn how to create an interior scene. And I have these images right here, we're going to see them. Let's start with the first image. Let's open this one right here. So this is the scene that I about to create. I created the whole scene in another software, but I would like to create this inside Blender as well. The final result, it's not necessary to be 100% similar to this image, but we will create something close, very close to it. You have the ability to change the furniture, the sofa if you like, the chairs. You can do a lot of changes if you like, and I'm assuming that you are working with the client. Alright, it's not quite necessary to model everything inside this scene. For example, the planets, I have the ability to model and texture the planet, but if you work with a client, it's not make sense to make the project take a month or less than month to complete an interior scene, because if you want to create all of these plants, that will take a huge time from you. But instead of that, you can download these 3D model and put them inside the scene. So why I am saying that? I am saying this because I'm not going to model everything you see right here. I'm going to model whatever thing easy to be modeled, and I'm going to ignore the complex objects, and I'm going to download them from Blender Kit, for example, if you like, or another website, or just to make the process a little bit faster, and in the same time we're going to model the object that we can model it, and we're going to learn how to do that step by step. So let's browse the other images. You can see them, and here we have the 2D image, the blueprints we're going to use. We're going to import this and put it inside the Blender and scale it and start with the project. And I guess we have another images here for the elevation, this image and this image. If you want to use them, that's okay. Alright, so how can we do that? Alright, so the first step is to import the image and edit the units. Here we have the, let's see, where is it? The scene properties, and here we have the unit. Feel free if you want to work with meter or centimeter. For me, I prefer centimeter. I will change the length to centimeter, and if you do that, let's open the side panel and let's open the screencast as well, so you can see what button that I'm going to hit here. And let's go to the item. So here you can see we have M refers for meters, and now if you change the length to centimeter, it will be changed to cm, means centimeters. So this is the first step, and I'm working with Blender 4.2, okay, just to be aware of that. I will close the side panel, just hit N from the keyboard to close the side panel. And I don't want the camera box light. I will click and drag to create this selection, so I can grab them and I will hit delete to delete them. Alright, and after that I will bring the image, the top view image, and I will put it right here. So it's better to jump to the top view. Alright, to switch the view to the top, now we are in the perspective. To switch the view to top, just hit 7 from the numpad. Or if you like, you can go to a view and the viewport, and you can choose top from here, and here you can see the shortcut numpad 7. Alright, now I will click and drag and put the image right here, and now we have it here. That's very cool. Alright, if you have a problem with the image, if you can't see it better, you can go right here and turn off the grid, I guess. Alright, now the grid is off, as you can see, and now we can scale this a little bit. And here we have some information. For example, the wall width, it's 0.4 meter, or let's say 40 centimeter. Alright, now I will create a guide and I will scale the image according to this guide. So for example, you can start with plane and just put it right here. Okay, after adding the plane here, I'm going to manipulate the dimension. Just go to the item and you can do it from here, or if you like, you can open this panel right here and you can manipulate the size from here as well. Alright, so you can do it from here or from here as well. Alright, what we want here, we want to change the dimension to 40 centimeter. Alright, just click and drag to control those, both of them, and then hit 40 and then hit enter, and now we have the correct size. After that, you can grab the image and hit G to move it, and for example, you can put it right here, something like that. Alright, let's put the corner right here, and I'm going to scale the image from this point. But if you grab the image right now and if you hit S to scale, we will get a problem. The scale working from the center out, we want to change that. We want the scale to work from this point out, from here out. Okay. Alright, to do that we can use the 3D cursor. All what we need to do is just snap the 3D cursor right here at this corner and then scale according to the position of the 3D cursor. I will grab the plane and tap to go to the edit mode, and I will click and drag to grab this vertex, and now we have this vertex active, and I will hit shift with S to open the pie menu for the snap of the 3D cursor, and I will choose this option, cursor to selected. Now the 3D cursor is jumped to be right here. Alright, that's something cool. After that, I will tap out because that's it. Now I have the 3D cursor right here. Now if I grab the image and scale it, nothing will happen, as you can see right here. But if I change the transform pivot point to 3D cursor, that means the gizmo will work according to the position of the 3D cursor. I will activate this one, and now I can grab the image and scale it. Now scaling working according to the position of the 3D cursor. So scale this and scale this again. Alright, until the wall match the size of the plane, as you can see right here. And now if you grab this piece and hit G to move it, it's similar to the size of the wall. Alright, now the scale is correct. If you want to change the position of the image and put it in the center, feel free to do that, that's okay. You can grab the image and hit Alt with G to reset the location, and now it's in the center. It's not quite necessary, but something up to you. Alright, that's very cool. Let's turn off the grid for now. Alright, so this is the first step. I will end this video here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. In this video we're going to import the other images, the elevation, this image right here and this one as well. So let's go to the top, or before we go to the top I just want to mention something here. when you select the image and go to the properties of the image, here we have some option. Here we have this option right here is called depth. If you switch the depth to back, we will have some overlapping happen between the grid and the image. So to avoid that, just switch this to default. And one more thing here, we have the side option. If you switch this to both, you can see the image from here and from here, and this is not cool. I prefer to see just one side. That's why I will switch this to front, so I can see it from here, but if I came to the back, I see nothing. Alright, now let's get started. Let's go to the top, and I will import another image, the elevation one. Here we have it. So this image, it should be right here. Okay, I just want to show you, it should be right here on this side. I will click and hit G to grab it, and I will put it right here temporarily, and I will hit R to rotate it. As you can see, the rotation still works according to the 3D cursor. I will change this back to median, and I will rotate this image again. Just hold Control to snap the rotation to the 90 degree. And by the way, if you like, if you go to the snapping menu, if you open it, you can see right here the rotation increments, it's 5. You can change this to whatever number you like. And I think this new option comes with Blender 4.2. So select the image, hit R and rotate this 90 degree. After that, we need to scale this just a little bit, like that. And alright, as you can see here, we have some overlapping. I can't see the image. What I can do is I can push the image a little bit up, but as you can see, it's not exist in the perspective. Alright, we can active the perspective after we select the image. If you want to select it, just hit 5 from the numpad to switch to orthographic, and select the image and active perspective as well, and then hit 5 again to jump back to the perspective. And the same scenario is change the depth default, and now I will hit G to the Z, just move this a little bit up so I can see it. Now let's go to the top, and all what I want to do is just I want to match the wall from here to the wall right here, and that's it. And after that I can scale it. So what I can do is I can add an empty and use the empty as a guide. Just hit Shift A and add an empty. The empty is right here. I will hit G and move it, and I want to put it right here. Alright, as you can see. Alright, and I can put another empty, hit Shift D to duplicate this one, and I will put this empty right here as well. Alright, I can't see it actually. If you want, by the way, I will delete this empty so I can show you something else. You can hold Shift and hold right click and put the 3D cursor above the image right here, and you can add another empty above the image. Hit Shift A and add another empty, and now let's go to the top. I just want to put it perfectly at the corner like that, and now we have it. Alright, now I can link this empty to the image. Select the image, hold Shift to grab the empty, and hit Control B to set parent to the object, and then choose object. So if you do that, that means this image will be linked to the empty. Now if I move the empty, the image will follow if I rotate it. Alright, and if I scale the empty, the image will follow as well. So all what I want to do is just match this empty with this empty. Alright, to do that, you can hit G to move this empty, and to move the image with it, hit G, and then hit B as well to use the snap, and select this empty from the origin dots of the empty to this one right here, and now this image perfectly aligned with this. And from the top we can scale this image until this one matched this one here, the wall I mean. Alright, so what we want to do is, I just want to show you, I want this line to be matched with this line, and we can do that by using empty again. So it's very simple, just put the 3D cursor right here. By the way, you can do something else like make one of the images transparent and do that. For example, if I grab this one and if I activate the opacity and make it transparent, now I can see this image. And now if I scale this, alright, so I think there's something not make sense have it right here. Alright, we should scale this according to the position of the empty as I said. So yeah, make this image transparent and select the image and keep scaling this until this line match this one. Perfect. And now I will rotate this empty 90 degree, hit R to the Y, and rotate this 90 degree. Alright, and now this image aligned with this one, everything is perfect. Alright, now let's go back to the top, and I will select the elevation 2 and import here, something like that. And I think we should rotate this one or not. So this is the ceiling and this is the ground. I will hit R and rotate it like that, 180 and 180 degree. Hold Control to achieve that, and I will hit G to move it, and you can put it right here temporarily, and you can add another empty above this image. Put the 3D cursor right here, hold Shift, hold right click to control the 3D cursor, hit Shift A, and let's add another empty. And now we have it perfectly in the correct place. Select the image, hold Shift to grab the empty, and then hit Control B and choose Object. And now this image is linked to this empty. Now I can scale it from here. After that, move this image and let's put it right here. We can put this empty right here, and you can scale according to this point. Grab the empty and hit S and keep scaling this image until this line match this line right here. Alright, perfect. I guess we can, yeah, that's very cool. That's all what we want to do here. After that you can rotate it, but when we switch to the perspective it's disappeared because of the settings right here. So I will change this to perspective to be visible in the perspective as well, and I will change the depth to defaults, and now I will hit R to the X this time, but don't select the image, select the empty instead. R to the X and rotate this 90 degree like that. And after you do that, you can move this image away and this one away because we need some room for the design. By the way, you can grab the empty and move it if you like. I guess this one, yeah, that's very cool. And now you can turn off the opacity if you like. Alright, so now everything is perfect. All what we need to do now is just start modeling the wall and put everything in place. After doing all of that, it's up to you if you want to keep seeing these images in the perspective or if you want to hide them. You can do that. Alright, so I guess I can keep them, but if I face any problem, I will make them visible just in the orthographic view. I will end this video here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. Alright, now let's see what we can do here. Alright, I just want to check the other views. If I talk about the top, everything looks fine. Alright, but if I go to the front, I can't see the image, and from the right as well I can't see the image, so we need to rotate them. So what I'm going to do is I will select everything and I will rotate all of these images from the center, using the center as a pivot point. So I will hit Shift C to put the 3D cursor in the middle, and I will change the transform to the 3D cursor like that, and I will go to the front and I will hit R to the Z and I will rotate the whole scene like that. Keep rotating this until you see one of these images. So this image will be the front. Now if I hit 1, I will see this, and if I hit 3, I will see this side image. Alright, one more thing here I would like to do is I will grab the image with the MT and I will hit G to the Z, or maybe the image alone. I will hit G to the Z and I will move this down, and I want the zero level of the image, this line, to be aligned with the x-axis. Now it's above it, as you can see. In this case I will select this MT, hold Shift to grab this one, and I will move them down just a little bit, but if I do that I can't see the x-axis because the image is solid. I will select the image and go to the properties here, and I will activate the opacity and reduce it just a little bit so we can see the x-axis. And now one more time I will select this MT and this MT, and I'm selecting the MT instead of the images because I can move the image using the MT, because the images are linked to these MTs. Alright, now I can hit G to the Z and move these down until the x-axis be above this line, something like that. After that I can crank this up or turn off the opacity. That's very cool. Alright, now I think we can start creating the walls, and we can start from the top. I will hit 7 from the numpad and the 3D cursor still in the middle right here. You can put the 3D cursor here if you like. I mean, you can select the MT and hit Shift S and choose cursor to select it to move the 3D cursor there, and from the top we can add plane. And when you do that, just open this panel and change the size to 40 centimeter, and I'm going to move this and put it in the anywhere you like, for example right here, and then just move it and connect it to the MT. Alright, I can't see the MT because the image a little bit dark. I will activate the opacity here so I can see the MT, and now it's right here. What I want to do is I just want to move this corner and move it right here so we can start from here. So grab the plane and then hit G to move, and we're going to use the new feature that comes with Blender 4. Now if you hit B, now you have the ability to pick point and move it to a certain point, for example right here, and that will give us what we need here. Now you can tap to jump to the edit mode, and here you can switch between the modes you like, switch from vertex to edge to face. I will stick with the vertex, and I will grab these two vertices, just click and drag to grab them, and I will hit E to extrude this all the way to the end, almost right here, for example, and I will extrude this one more time. Just hit E from the keyboard, and I will type -40 and then hit enter. Alright, one more thing here I just forget to do is to activate the screencast. Alright, that's very cool. Maybe we can manipulate the size a tiny bit. Okay, let's make it smaller. Alright. Alright, now I will grab this and I will hit Shift D to take a copy right here, and let's put this, for example, right here, this area, and let's open the images. I just want to show you something here. Well, according to this image, you can see that here we have a solid geometry here in the middle. Well, you can consider this whatever thing you like. For me, I will consider this as a wall with a window here in this area, and you can add whatever decoration you like here to add right here from outside. So in this case, I will create a wall right here as well. Okay, so I'm going to grab these and move them. For example, right here, just align this edge with this one. I mean, I want to align this with this one. Okay, so let's grab these 4 vertices. I want to create a break between them. I will hit F to achieve that, and then I will grab those 4 vertices, or let's say this face, and I will hit Shift with D, and I will move this over here, and I will take another copy, for example, right here, or I can grab those and hit Shift D and grab a copy right here and connect them. So let's start with these vertices. Grab those vertices, hit F, grab those right here, hit F, and those here, hit F, and now I will grab these, let's say this face, hit Shift D, and let's have this face here. Grab those together, hit F, and let's see maybe if we need to move those just a tiny bit. Alright, I will grab this one as well and hit Shift with D, and I will move this over there, but I want to align this edge with that one. So to achieve that, I will hit G to the Y like that, and I will hit B to move or to grab this vertex and snap it with this one. And now let's select these vertices, hold Shift to grab those as well, and then hit F. Alright, and now I will grab those right here and then hit F as well. Alright, after doing all of that, just save the project. I will save this as increment, and now hit A to select everything, and then hit E to extrude this up. And you can pick the front view, for example, to match the height with the reference image. Hit G to move this up until you reach this point. Alright, now we got this, and because we extruded faces like that, we don't know if this face extruded on the correct or on the wrong direction. Well, in this case, what we can do is we can activate the face orientation. If you activate this one, and if the color become red, that's mean you extruded these faces on the wrong direction. But if you see a blue color, that's mean everything is correct. And I just want to give you an example here. For example, if we grab this face, you can see now if I hit E and extrude on the wrong side, it will be red, but if I extrude on the correct side, it will be blue. So just keep that in mind. Alright, now let's go back and turn off face orientation. Alright, so this is the first step. After that, we should create a hole for the window and for the door as well. Alright, I will add a cutter for that. I will add object here, and I will use the boolean operation inside Blender to cut and open this area. So in this case I will start with the cube. Just add a cube right here, and from the top just move it and let's put it in the correct place. You can switch to the wireframe and then tap to go to the edit mode, and I will grab these two vertices and let's align them with the window here, and let's grab those over here, and I will move those right here, I guess, something like that. Let's start with this, and after that just determine the height. Alright, what about the height? I will put the 3D cursor right here. I just want to snap this with the corner of the room so I can start from here, and to achieve that just hold shift, hold right click, and then hold control and snap it. But snap doesn't work because it's not working, or switch to the increment. Just switch this to vertex and then hold shift and then right click and then hold control as well and snap this right here. As you can see, it's snapped to the corner. After that I will add an empty just to use it as a guide, and now we have the empty right here, and I will hit shift D to duplicate the empty to the Z, shift D to the Z, and let's move this to a certain height. So for example I will move this maybe right here 500 and maybe 60. Alright, something like that. So this will be my guide, and I will scale this cube to reach this height. I will tap and go to the face mode, just hit 3 from the keyboard, grab this face, G to the Z, and hold control and snap it to the empty like that. Alright, so now we got the height of the windows. Go to the top, go to the wireframe, and let's grab this cube. I will duplicate it on the other side, and let's align it with the window like that. And even if this goes beyond the line, that's okay, it's not a huge problem. And I want another copy right here for this side, so in this case hit Z to go to wireframe, and let's grab this cube, shift with D to take a copy right here, and I will scale it like that. As you can see, scale works according to the 3D cursor. Swing this back to medium point, and let's scale this just a tiny bit, and I will control the vertices. Just hit 1 to switch to the vertex mode. I will grab these and just move them a tiny bit like that, and grab those over there, G, and let's move these a little bit to the x-axis, and now we got this. And you can take the copy the same cube and you can move it right here as well, and let's scale it just a little bit because it's too big. And let's move this, for example, right here, something like that, and maybe this one, it could be here. Alright, that's very cool. And I want another cube for the door. As you can see here, we have the door. So from the top view again, just go to the wireframe, grab this one, shift D, and let's move this over here, and let's move these vertices and align them with the door like that. Alright, let's open this panel so we can see what we got right here. Alright, something like this. Alright, don't worry about the side panel. And from the front view, I guess, or from the right view, we can determine the height. So let's grab these 4 vertices of the door opening, and let's go to the side and let's hit G to the Z, and let's move this down here. Alright, that's very cool. Cool. Alright, now all what we need to do is just open this area. So let's see how that will work. Alright, now let's tab out and you can use the Boolean operation here. If you go right here we have the Boolean operation. We can use this modifier to open the windows, or you can go to the edit and then preferences, and in the extension you can search for Bool tool, BOOL, Bool tool, and just install it. Alright, it will be downloaded and it will be installed. Alright, now we got it right here in the extension, and now if you go to the add-on you will find it right here. Alright, so Bool tool, it will make the process a little bit faster for us. I like to use Bool tool. It's free, comes with Blender, but Blender 4.2, the scenario here is a little bit different. In the previous version, this add-on comes with the Blender, but with this version you should go to the get extension and download it. Sometime when you hit install, the browser will be opened on a certain page, and after that you need to click and drag the add-on and drop it inside the Blender to install it. And I will give you an example. If you open the add-on, you will find this link, extension.blender.org, and if you open this website, alright, you will find all the extensions here. For example, the Bool tool, if you want to install it, just scroll down until you reach this button right here, get add-on. Just click it and click and drag and put it inside the software like that. After that you will find a button right here tells you, do you want to install it? Alright, just hit install and that's it. So this is the new technique. And if you go back to the extension, here we have a lot of extensions you can download. So just go here and see whatever thing you want here. You can just click and drag and use it. So if you hit install and the web page opened, use this technique that I just show you, or you can hit install and it will be downloaded automatically. Alright, so now we have the Bool tool and it's ready here as well, and it's active. Alright, now if you open the side panel, here we have the edit of the Bool tool, and if you open this menu, here we have the options. The question is, how can we trim this wall using the Bool tool? Well, first thing, you should select the cutter. We are using these boxes as a cutter, that's why I call them cutter, and then hold shift and grab the target, the wall, like that. And here we have two options. If you choose the first one, alright, I just want to take a copy here, I just want to show you something. Alright, so let's select the cutter, hold shift to grab the wall, and I will use the auto boolean. Here we have difference, union, intersect, slice, and the same thing we got right here, but this list is not similar to this one. There are some differences. So let's start with the first list. I want to choose different. As you can see, now we got the result that we want, but the cutter itself, it's gone. Alright, let's do the same scenario right here. I grab the cutter, hold shift to grab the target, the wall, and now I will use the difference inside the brush boolean. Alright, I get the same result, but now I have the ability to control the result. I got all the boxes right here. Now if I tap to the edit mode, now I have the ability, for example, to grab these vertices of one of these boxes, and if I change the size, I can manipulate the size of the window. So this is the difference. If you think you want to go back and make some editing, use the second option, or you can use this one and make the trim, and that's it. So this is the difference between them. Alright, for me, I will select the cutter, hold shift to grab the wall, and I will use the auto boolean difference to open the window, as you can see here. And now we got this result. That's very cool. After that, you can select the wall and tap to go to the edit mode to make some kings. For example, here you have the ability, if you like, you can make the windows like an arc. For example, I can grab those and hit Ctrl B to create an arc like that. And if you rotate the wheel of the mouse, you can add more edges just to make the arc look smooth, not jagged. So alright, if you move the mouse too much, you will get some overlapping, but that's not a problem. Just accept whatever result you like, and you can control that from here. Alright, so now if I push this too much, I will get some overlapping, as you can see right here. But if I active this option, it's called clump overlap. Now if I move this, it will stop at a point, as you can see here, and that's what I want, to get a perfect arc. But after doing that, and if you accept this result, just make sure to delete one of these edges, because here we have two edges. Alright, so just to grab one of them, as you can see here, and hit Ctrl X to delete it, and the same thing for this side. Okay, Ctrl X to delete this one. Alright, we can do the same thing for this window as well. I will grab this with this, hit Ctrl B until they meet to the center like that. And let's see, where's the edge that we should delete? I guess this one. Just select one of them and hit G to move it, and yeah, this one right here, because here we have two. Ctrl X and dissolve it. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Grab this with this and hit Ctrl with B to make a bevel. And yeah, that's very cool. I guess this is the center, or this one. Yep, Ctrl X to dissolve this edge. That's very cool. Alright, I think that's it. Don't forget to save this project. You can save this as increment. And I will end this video here and see you in the next one. Hello everyone, and welcome back here. Alright, before we start doing anything else, I just want to mention something here. When you create interior scene or exterior scene, and after you create the structure, it's important to add a 3D figure to compare whatever thing you want to add, to compare it with it. For example, you can add a human body here, and that's for me, as I think it's important. Alright, I want to add a human figure here, and I want to use a tool. It's called a Blender Kit. If you go to this website, Blender Kit, you can find this add-on. It's very beautiful add-on, and it comes with a lot of free models and paid one as well, and tons of materials. The material is totally free to use. To download the add-on, you can use this button right here, download Blender Kit. After you download this on your computer, you can go back to Blender and go to Edit, and then Preferences, and you can go to the add-on section and open this arrow right here and choose Install from Disk. Search for the add-on and install it. After that, you can active the add-on like this, and then now if you hit N from the keyboard, you will find the Blender Kit right here. After that, go to this area right here and log in. But if you want to log in, you should have an account. So if you don't, just sign up, or you can use the website itself to sign up. From here you can register. You can register with your Google account, or you can add your email and create password, and that's it. After that, when you hit login, the browser page of the add-on itself, it will be opened, and it will ask you to authorize login. Just hit authorize, and that's it. After that, if you are in the object mode, you will find this menu right here, or this search bar. For example, if I select this geometry and if I tap to go to the edit mode, it will be disappeared. But if you are in the object mode, it will be there. For example, I want to search for a human and I want to see the 3D models. You can use this eye right here, just activate it like this to see the model. As you can see here, we have this lock. That means these models, you can't download them unless you pay for them. But we want to use the free models that comes with this tool. To do that, just go to this filter right here and active the free first. And now we can see all the free models first. After that, just go to the search and type human. Hit enter. And now we have a lot of 3D models here. Human. If you want to go to the next page, just hit this 3 arrow to take you to the next page. For me, I will download this figure here. Just click and drag, and let's put it right here. I'm doing that because I just want to see whatever thing I want to model, I want to compare it with the human being. For me, that's important. After that, you can turn this off and hit End to close this panel. Alright, now I think we are ready, and I guess we can start with the ground. After creating the floor, we can take care of the windows. I think that makes sense. So to create the floor, you can copy the faces we got right here, these faces here, and we can use them. So to select these faces, you can go to the side view, to the front view if you like, and hit Z to go to wireframe, and let's go to the face selection mode and select all of these faces like that. Now we have them selected. After that, you can hit Shift D to the Z and move those down here, for example, temporarily, and then hit P and then S, and that's it. And now we just separated these. P to open the separate menu, and choose S to separate the selected faces. After that, you can tab out and select this new geometry we got right here. After that, we need to snap this here. All right, to do that, just grab this, hit G to move, hit Z to move this to the Z axis, and then hit B to pick a certain point and move it up until you reach this point, and then hit click again. That's it. All right, that's very cool. Now you can tab again, go to the edge selection mode, alt click to select these edges, and if you see any edges not selected, hold Shift and add them manually like that, and then hit F to create a face. Now we got the floor. After that, just check the design again, go to the right view. Here we have this small stairs, multiple steps. Let's try to create them. Let's go to the top so we can see something here. All right, that's very cool. Select the ground, tab, hit Z to go to wireframe, and I just want to create a cut using the knife tool here. I will hit a K to active the knife tool, and I will click one click here and go to this side. And if you want to make the cut to be straight, just hit A and then hit click again and then hit enter to confirm. After that, this new edge, we can grab it like that and hit G and move it to this line. If it is difficult for you to see, you can select the image and increase the opacity just a little bit. All right, now we got this new edge here. After that, you can select this face, go to the face selection mode, select this one, and you can use it. You can duplicate it and use it. Hit shift with D to take a copy like that, and then hit right click to leave it in the same place, and then hit P and then S to separate it. Tab out, select this new face, tab again. All right, now we got it. Here we have some vertices we don't need. For example, this one and this one. Just grab them, hit Ctrl X and dissolve them. All right, that's very cool. All right, now hit A and you can go to face and choose solidify face, and you can push it on the other side like that. Just go to the right view just to determine the height, and let's move this down just a tiny bit until this reach this edge right here, and that's it. Very cool. All right, now after doing that, now we can see where the ground will reach, and after that we can close this area of the window. So let's see how can we do that. We can select the structure and tab to go to the edit mode, and we can go to the right, for example, and we can use the knife tool again. Hit K and you can click from outside, one click, and go to this side. Hit A to make the cut right, and hit C this time, C, to cut through the whole geometry. After that, hit click again and enter to confirm the cut. And now we got this. After that, you have the ability to control this new edge. All right, seems like we got a problem right here. All right, this area is closed for some reason. Let's go to the local mode so we can understand what's going on here exactly. All right. Or sometimes problem happens. All right, let's try to do that again. Let's see what's going on here. I just want to see where is the problem exactly. I will create another cut like that. All right, it's working. So if that happened, just create another line and another level, and I think that will help to avoid this problem. Anyway, after doing that, and after creating this edge, you can go to the edge selection mode and determine the height. So this edge should reach the ground, as you can see right here, the next level, this one. I will hit G to the Z and move this new line and hold Control to snap it with the corner here, with this vertex. Just keep in mind to activate the vertex snap. And now we got it. After that, now you can select this face with this face to connect them, right click, choose a bridge, and you can do the same for the rest. Something like that, I guess. And the same thing for this area. and I guess this area as well. All right, that's very cool. All right, now I think we can start with the steps. Let's see how can we create them. Okay, now we can go to the top view. Easy to go to wireframe to understand what's going on here. The design is very easy. All what you should do is just follow these lines, and that's it. So let's see how can we do that. Well, first let's start with the guide. I will grab the floor and tab, and I will select this vertex because I want to bring the 3D cursor right here. Hit Shift S and bring the 3D cursor here because I want to create an empty. Or by the way, you can add it on the ground. That will work as well. Just hold Shift, hold right click, and move the mouse on the ground. It will be sticked to the ground. And then hit Shift A to add, and just add empty like that. All right, it's not on the ground. Okay, it's not a problem. Hit G to the Z and move the empty up, hold Control and snap it with this corner, and now it's on the ground. I guess if we use this tool, I think this tool will achieve that. Yep, I guess that. Anyway, scale this empty and make it small. I just want it to be a guide, that's it. And I will duplicate this with a distance with 15 centimeter as a distance. Shift D to the Z and type 15 and then hit enter. And I want to repeat that again and again. You can hit Shift R to repeat the last action. Shift R and Shift R again until this empty reach this edge. Shift R again. All right, and now let's make a comparison. Let's see from the right view if this goes above or now it's aligned or not. Well, I guess it's not aligned, but it's easy to fix. All what we need to do is just select the ground and the structure as well, and I tab, and then go to the right, select these vertices, all of them, and just move these up just a tiny bit, key to the Z, and snap them with the empty. I know we have some difference here, but it's not a problem. All right, that's very cool. Now we can go to the top and see how can we do that. You can start with the cube if you prefer and keep extruding that. That will work. So let's use the 3D cursor. It's on the ground. Shift A to add, and I will add a cube, and I will change the size to 15 centimeter, I guess. And I just want to move this cube up and snap it with this first empty. G to the Z, and then hit B to pick this point and snap it with that one. And it's perfectly now on the ground. Tab, and let's see. I guess we can delete these faces. We don't need them. Even this one, I guess we don't need it for now. XF and get rid of it. And yeah, this one as well, I don't want it. And let's use this edge. You can just push it a little bit, and now we have something. Let's go to the top, go to vertex selection mode to see better. Hit Z to go to wireframe, and now let's start with these. I will move this back until it be aligned with this, and let's move this one and snap it with the wall like that. And let's move this vertex as well. Hit G and let's move it right here. And let's hit E to extrude this over here. One more extrusion right here, and you can snap it with the wall. And let's just try to get better result like that. All right, that's very cool. Now we got this result. All right, that's very cool. All right, after that, we can select these edges like that and go to the top. All right, you can ignore this one for now. You can hit E to make one extrusion like that. All right, this extrusion should go 30 centimeter and minus. So just hit 30 minus and then hit enter. All right, that's very cool. Now I can move this vertex just a little bit away from this edge, something like that. And I guess we can grab this one and hit G and move it right here. And I guess we can snap this one with this vertex. Just hit G to the X, hold Control and snap it like that. And you can fill this area with a face. Just select these three faces, or sorry, three edges, and then hit F. All right, don't worry about this taper. We will do that later. All right, after that, let's select these three edges and extrude them up and snap them with this empty. Hit E to the Z, hold Control and snap it right here. Now we got the second step. You can do the same thing here. Grab this with this, extrude them just a little bit like that. Grab this vertex with this vertex, just move them a tiny bit like that, and make sure this the step dimension is correct. All right, I guess, yeah, it's correct. And now you can grab these three edges and then hit F to connect them. And now you can select those again and hit E to the Z and snap it with this fourth empty, I guess. And now we can do the same thing. I will hit E and extrude this and snap it like that. I know we have some variation, but we can fix it. Don't worry about this. I will grab this vertex with this vertex and move it just a tiny bit like that. And grab this edge and hit F to create a face right there. So yeah, now we got this result. But I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. You can add another guide here. Just put the 3D cursor over here, or maybe here. All right, right here. And you can add an empty again. And you can snap it with the edge. Just move this to the Y, hold Control and snap it like that. You can scale it as well, make it small. And from the top, you can duplicate this multiple times. Hit Shift D to the Y and just type 30 centimeter. Hit Enter and hit Shift R again and again, multiple times. I think that this one, we don't need it. You can delete it if you like. You can go beyond 30 centimeter, it's okay. And now I will select these stairs and tap and manipulate them. All right, I will select these edges or vertices and hit G to the Y, hold Control and snap this one here. I can do the same for these. Snap this one here. And this one as well, snap it to this empty. All right. And you can use these empty again. Just grab them and deselect the other geometry and you can use them right here. Hit Shift D to take a copy right here. And I guess we can snap them here. Just hit G and then B, grab this point and snap it here. All right. And now let's fix this area as well. Go to wireframe, grab this, hold Control, snap it. And the same thing for this one and this one as well. All right, so this is the result that we got. It's cool, but we can go beyond it. It's not necessary to stick with the design. We can create something different if you like. For example, I can grab these vertices and move them like that. It's okay to do that. All right, and I think we can leave those right here. And for the steps, it's not necessary to stick with 30 centimeter. We can make this a little bit wider. In this case, if you want to do that, you can use the 3D cursor as a pivot point. I switched this to 3D cursor. You can put the 3D cursor right there, snap it there, and for example, you can grab these vertices with those right here. You can scale them like that. It's okay to be a little bit wider. This will make the design a little bit better and more beautiful. Something like that will be nice. And you can compare this with the human being. Just hit Shift D and take a copy, and let's put this one right here, for example, and let's move this up here. Something like that. And you can see the step as compare with his foot. It's cool. Yeah, it's nice. And if you like, you can go even beyond that. Something like that. And for this side, you can put the 3D cursor right here, hold Shift, right click, and then hold Control to snap the 3D cursor right here. Grab these vertices like that and scale those back like this. All right, that's very cool. And now if you like, can grab this, hit E, and snap it right here, and then grab this with this, hit F to create a face right here, or you can move this vertex and snap it here, or let's say hold it here. Just hit M to open the mirror menu, or sorry, select the first vertex, hold Shift to grab the last one, hit M, and choose merge at last like that, and done. All right, for me, I prefer this result. All right, looks cool. In case you want to add a curve here, you can grab these edges like that and hit Control B, and you can create a curve. And let's see if that looks nice. Well, yeah, it's very cool. It's up to you if you want to do that. All right, I think we can get better results if we use the clamp overlap and push this all the way to the end, I guess. Yep, looks nice. All right, now I will grab this and go to the local mode so I can see what we should do here. If you want to fill this area, it's something simple to do. Just start grabbing these edges and extrude them down and active the auto merge, because now if you extrude this, for example, if you hit E and hold Control to snap this one right here, it will be merged automatically if you have this option active. This one right here. All right, now I will grab this edge as well with this one, hit E to the Z to extrude this to the Z, hold Control and snap it right here, and now it's merged, as you can see. Go to the edge again, grab those three of them, hit E to the Z, and snap this one right here. And we can do the same thing right here. And there is a different scenario if you prefer. Grab this vertex, E to the Z, hold Control, snap it with this one. Grab this with this, hit F, and now let's select the entire edge loops here. Hit F to fill it. But the difference is here we have just one solid face, and here we have this area with edges. It's up to you to use this technique or this one. One more thing here maybe we can do. Actually, we don't need all of these edges. We can get rid of them. For example, I can pick all of these edges and those here as well and hit Control X to dissolve them. It's okay to do that. And I guess we can do the same thing here to dissolve these edges. Just select them like that, hit Control X. You can get rid of them. And those right here as well. Control X. And those as well. And you can end with this result. And if you are care about this this area, you can fill it as well. You can select this edge, hold Control and keep selecting these edges until you reach the end, and just hit F to create a big face. It's up to you if you want to add this or remove it. All right, let's hit slash to excite, and let's see what else we can do here. All right, the result looks nice. Very cool. For any reason, if you want these steps to be even smoother, you have the ability to do that. For example, we can see here the smoothness in this area is not quite perfect. For example, right here, we can fix that, by the way. You can select, for example, this edge, hold Control and grab this one to select the entire edge loop. Hold Shift to add this one, and then hold Control and grab this one. And you can understand now what I'm doing. I'm just selecting these edges. And you can use a tool, it's called Loop Tool. Just go to the Edit and then Preferences and go to the extensions and search for Loop Tool. And just install the Loop Tool like that. If you hit install and the browser page opened, just click and drag the add-on inside the Blender and install it. Or Blender will search for it and install it for you. After installing the Loop Tool, now you can exit from here. And now when you select these edges and then hit right click, the Loop Tool will be right here. After that, you can use the relax option right here. After that, you can hit Shift R to repeat that again and again until you get something smooth. All right, now it's become smoother, as you can see. All right, I will do the same thing for this one, but I will delete this close edge. I don't want it. And let's try to select the edges starting from here and ends here. Let's see if that will make any difference. Right click, relax, hold Shift R to repeat this again and again. All right, looks cool. I will add this one and this one. Right click, relax, hit Shift R again and again. All right, looks nice and smooth. All right, let's do that again here. I will delete this one, and let's grab these edges like that, and right click, and you can choose relax. And you can manipulate the iteration. You can go to 5 if you like, hit Shift R to make the smooth a little bit stronger. Very cool. All right, now it's become smooth. Maybe we can go to the first one and make it even smoother. Right click, choose relax, use 5 as iteration to make the smooth work stronger. Shift R to repeat that. All right, that's very cool. We can now tab out, and now the result looks very cool. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. All right, I think now we can start with the windows, and after that we can jump to the interior. So let's start with this window. I will select the structure and I will tap to go to the edit mode, and I will hit alt click on this edge loop so I can select it. Make sure to hit number 2 to active edge selection mode, and hold Shift to add this edge as well, and I will take a copy of this. Just hit P and then S to separate this selection. And now just tab out of the structure and select this new line that we just created. And tab to the edit mode. And you can hit number 1 to control the vertices. Hit A to select everything, and then hit F to fill this with the face. Alright, after that, I will hit I to create small inset, something like that. It's 7 centimeter. You can, let's type 7 here. Or maybe we can type 5. I guess 5 will be cool. And I will separate this face as well. Just hit P and then S. Tab out. And now I will select this small strap that we got right here. And then I will tap to the edit mode. And I will give this a thickness. So first, let's move this to the middle, maybe. Right here. And I will hit E to extrude this. But before you hit E, just go to the overlays and active face orientation so we can understand on which face we should extrude this. If you extrude this on the wrong face, the result will be red. But if you extrude this on the correct direction, the color will be the same. So that's mean I should extrude this on this direction, something like that. And if you want to put this in the middle, hit A, select everything, and move the whole frame to the x-axis. Hit G to the x. And let's move this and let's put this in the middle. Something like that, I guess. Yeah, that's very cool. Alright. Tab out, and now let's jump to this and let's see what else we can do here. Tab, and I will select this vertex with this vertex, and I will hit J to create a connection between them. And I'm going to create multiple frames here. Hit Ctrl R to add maybe 3 or 4 if you like. I guess 3 will be okay. I will add 3. And if you add another frame right here, it's okay. I will add one edge loop right here, maybe. Something like that. Or let's say before you do all of that, I guess we can make an inset in case we want to create a curve. For example, if you want to create a curve here and divide this area like that, we should create an inset. So I will select these two faces and I will hit I to create a small inset like this, or something like that. And you can hit Shift R to repeat the same inset again. And now I got this result, as you can see. Alright, I don't want this edge to be right here. I want these edges to go down. Alright, like that. In this case, I can go to the right view and use the knife tool, hit K to create a new cut, goes down. Hit A to make the cut right. Alright. Let's make one cut right here. Hit right click to add a new cut. And then left click from here to here. Right click. And the same scenario here and here. And then hit space to confirm all of that. And now let's go to the face selection mode. And I want this area to be one face. So select it, hit F. Grab this area, hit F to convert it to one face. And the same thing here. Hit F. Alright, I just forget to activate the screencast. Sorry for that. And now let's select these, hit F to convert them to one face. And now let's see the vertices. Here we have the vertices. Control X to dissolve them. Grab those over here. Control X and those as well. And in case you want to add one frame right here, go ahead and add one right here. For example, right here. And I will add one edge loop here in the middle because I want to divide this area. So first, let's try to connect this vertex with one of these vertices. All right, if you want to connect this with the vertex above it, I guess we need a guide. I will hit B and put the mouse right here, and now I can see that this vertex is the one that we need. So select this, with this hit J to connect them like that. And I want a guide. All right, I just want to divide this in the correct way, and to do that, it's better to have a guide. I will select this edge, and I will hit P and then S to separate this edge loop, so I can use it as a guide. Tab out and select this new edge, and tab to go to the edit mode, and I will grab these, hit Control X because I don't want them, and I will extend this just a little bit and make it taller. And I will select this vertex to bring the 3D cursor over here because I want the origin dot of this edge to be right here. So I will hit Shift S and choose cursor to select it. And now we have the 3D cursor over here. And that's it for now. I will tab out. And with this edge selected, I will hit right click and set origin to 3D cursor. And now we have the origin dot become here. That's very cool. All right. And now I want to use this as a guide. If you have any issue with the straightness of this edge, you can fix it. For example, I can move this up and down and align it with this vertex, hit G to the Z, and hold Control and snap it with this vertex to get it right line like that. And what I want to do with this is I want to use this as a guide, and I want to put it on the 90 degree. I will hit Shift D to have a copy of this, and then hit R and hold Control and snap this on the 90 degree like this. All right, that's very cool. After that, it's up to you to divide this on 3 or 4 or 5. For me, I will divide this 3 times on 3. So 90 degree divided by 3, it's 30 degree, I guess. So in this case, I will go to the snap menu and I will change the rotation increment to 30 degree. And now I will select this edge, hit Shift D to take a copy, and then R to rotate this, hold Control to rotate this 30 degree, and then hit Shift R to copy and rotate the new copy. And now we got this result. And now let's select this the window, and let's tab and let's take a look and let's see what we got so far. All right, as you can see, we have a slight difference here. It's up to you to ignore that, or if you want to get a correct result, you can make a small tweaks, like grabbing these vertices, for example, and align them to the active one. For example, I can align these vertices to the active one, just select them like that, and hold Shift to pick this one and pick this again to make this one the active one, and then go to the transform pivot point and let's choose active element. And now if I snap this to the Z, I can align these 2 vertices to the active one, hit 0 enter, and now they are straight. After that, you can select these vertices starting from here and end there to redistribute and fix the distance between them. So select them like that, and then hit right click and use the loop tool and choose space. If you don't have the loop tool, you can go to the edit and then preferences and go to the extensions and search for loop tool, or you can download it from the extension websites for Blender. And after that, after you install this tool, you can find it when you hit right click in the edit mode. So after selecting these vertices, hit right click and choose space. And that should fix the problem. And now as you can see, the vertex is too close to the 30. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing for these vertices as well. Right click and space. That's very cool. And maybe those over here as well, we can do the same. All right. That's very cool. All right. Now the result is close. After that, I will select these faces as you can see, and I will hit F to convert these to one face. And I'm going to do the same thing for these. Hit F. And those over here, hit F. That's very cool. All right. Now, after doing that, I want to create one edge here in the middle so I can use it as a guide. I can actually use one of these, but I think we can change the angle here to maybe 45 degree. Hit Shift D, take a copy, hit R to rotate this, and now we got it in the middle. And now let's select the window and let's tap to go to the edit mode, and I guess we should have one edge loop right here in the middle. After that, I can pick these faces like that and hit F to convert them to one face, and those over here, hit F. All right, something like this. All right, and now let's go to the vertex selection mode, because as you can see here, we have a lot of vertices, and I guess we can reduce the number of the vertices. So this is the first thing. And not just that, I guess we can delete half of this, hit XF and get rid of it, because we can use mirror to complete it. Not just that, you can tab out and you can delete the guy that we just created. I guess we don't need them anymore. Tab, and now let's take a look. So first thing that we can do right here, maybe redistribute these vertices and give them even distance between each vertex, each two vertices. So select these vertices like that and hit right click and choose space from the loop tool. So now it's up to you if you want to reduce the number. In case you want to do that, you can start with this vertex, hold Shift and add this, hold Shift and leave one and add this, and you can hold and you can hit Shift and plus, sorry, Control Shift and plus to repeat that again and again. All right, something like that. And you can hit Control X to dissolve all of these vertices. And now we just reduce the number. All right, maybe we can do the same thing right here. After selecting these vertices, hit right click and choose space to fix the space between them. And I guess we don't need to reduce the number of the vertices right here. Everything looks nice. All right, now I want to bring the origin dot right here in the middle on this vertex maybe. So hit Shift S and bring the 3D cursor over here and tab out. And then in the object mode, hit right click, set origin to 3D cursor. And now we have the origin dot right here. Now we can give this a mirror. And I guess we don't need these edges. We can delete them. So select this, go to the modifier, right, Shift A, and let's add a mirror. All right, I guess on the X it should be added. That's very cool. And now whatever change you will do right here, it will be reflected on the other side. All right, now I will hit A to select all of these faces, and now I will hit I to create a small inset, and I want to hit I again to make an inset individually. So just hit I 2 times, and it's up to you to choose the thickness. All right, maybe something like that, it will be okay. 3.4, or you can, yeah, let's add 3. Looks nice, 3. That's very cool. Well, I'm not so quite sure if we need this edge in the middle, or maybe we can ignore it. Actually, it's up to you. But I guess we can do something else, like applying the modifier, the mirror. Just hover over here and hit Control A to apply it. And then you can go back and just delete this edge in the middle. Let's get rid of it. All right, and now I will hit A, select all the faces. You can jump to the face selection mode, and I will hit I 2 times again, and let's add 3 here, centimeter, as a thickness. All right, for me, I like this result, it's better. And then after doing that, just hit P and then S to separate these windows. And now I will select the frame and I will use it and move it to the x-axis and put it here in the middle, as you can see. And I will give this a solidify modifier, Shift A, and let's use solidify, and I will zero out the offset. I will add 0 right here. So when I give this a little bit of thickness, the thickness will go to the both sides. Something like that, I guess. After that, you can bring these glasses and can put them right here. And you can give these thickness as well if you like. So select them and let's give these a solidify. And the thickness will be, I don't know, I will isolate this just to see the result. 1 centimeter, maybe 0.5 centimeter will be better. And the offset, zero out the offset. All right, that's very cool. All right, after that, select the frame, right click, shade auto smooth, and let's go to the modifier and let's add a bevel modifier. And let's change the amount to 0.5 centimeter. And let's increase the segment to 3, maybe. Shading harden normal. Active the harden normal just to get better shading. And let's zoom in. I just want to see the result. All right. I just want to make sure the shading looks fine. Well, sometimes if you got a problem, you can active this ignore sharp, but it's not working properly most of the time. If you use harden normal here in the bevel modifier, it's better to choose shade smooth instead of shade auto smooth, because when you choose shade smooth, it gives you better results, as you can see here. So yeah, I will stick with shade smooth. And we can replicate the same thing on the frame, this one. Right click, shade smooth, and you can copy the same bevel modifier that we added right here. Select the frame that doesn't have the modifier, hold shift and pick the frame with the modifier, and go to the bevel and choose copy to select it. And now we have it here as well. That's very cool. So this is how to create the window and the frame. And it's up to you if you want to go beyond that. If you want to add some details, you can do it. But in 3D, this looks fine and cool. And yeah, that's very cool. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again, welcome back here. I just want to mention something. Normally, when you go to the overlays and active the face orientation, you will see 2 colors, the red one and the blue. The blue means the correct face, red means the wrong face. But here in my example, because I'm using one of the themes that you can download it from the internet, the scenario here, it's a little bit different. Now, if you go to the extension and to the theme section, here we have the deep dark sea. And here I got the face orientation active, but I can't see the blue color. Well, that's because this theme here, it's not showing us the blue one. It's just showing us the red one. And this makes sense, actually. It's not quite necessary to see the blue one. But if we see the red one, that will be it. And that's all what we want here. But if you turn this off, clear theme, we can go back to the original state of Blender, showing you the blue and the red one. All right, I will stick with this theme because I like it. And let's continue. So far we created this frame. Now I will take all of these pieces and copy them on this frame as well. I will hit Shift D to take a copy right here. All right, something like this. And before I move this anywhere, if you like, you can add a guide here in this area to snap it with the wall perfectly. I mean, you can add an empty here. For example, we can grab this frame, tab, and select this vertex, hit Shift S, and bring the 3D cursor over here. Shift S and move the mouse down to bring the 3D cursor over here. And now tab out, Shift A to add, and now you can add an empty here. And now you can parent all of these pieces with this empty. Hold Shift and select the empty. After selecting all the pieces of the window, hit Control B and set parent to object. And now, when you move the empty, as you can see, the whole frame will move with it. And now I can snap the empty with the wall normally. Hit G to the Y, hold Control and snap it here. And now the frame is perfectly in the correct place. And it's up to you if you want to make this tall or shorter. I guess we can make a small tweaks here, like grabbing these two vertices and move them down just a little bit like that. If you want to move these to a specific distance, just turn off auto merge and move these vertices down and snap them with these and move them again up, G to the Z, and give them a specific distance, for example 20 centimeter, and that's it. And now you can connect those together, or you can move these to 20 meter again to have a 40 centimeter, and I think that makes sense. Now you can grab this with this and then hit right click and then break face, and that's it. After that, tab out, grab these pieces to go to the edit mode, go to the vertex mode, hit 1, go to wireframe so we can select all the vertices over here, and you can move them just a little bit. All right, G to the Z and move these down just a tiny bit like this, and that's it. And now we got this perfectly in the correct place. After that, now it's the time to create this window right here. I will tap, select the structure and tap to go to the edit mode, and I will select the entire edge loop like that. Alt Shift, add this one, hit P and then S to separate the selection. Tab out, and now let's select this new edge. Tab, select all the edges or vertices, hit F to create a face over here. All right, so that's very cool. Let's go to the vertices and let's see what else we can do. I will select this vertex with this one, hit J to create a connection between them. And if you like, you can add 2 edges right here and multiple edges here. If you like, you can add 4 or 3. It's up to you. I guess it's okay to add 4 here. And here in this area, I guess we can add 1 edge temporarily. And we can hit B just to see which vertex should be connected with this one. I guess this one with this one, hit J to connect them. And you can have just 2 pieces, and yeah, I think that's it. After that, you can delete this edge in the middle. We don't need it. If you care about having a curve right here, it's okay to do that. Just hit A, select all the faces, hit I to make an inset, hit I again to ignore individual inset, and just move this a little bit close to these edges in the middle, and you can accept this result. After that, if you need this, that's mean there's no reason to have these edges right here. Control X and dissolve them. And actually, I like this triangle right here. It's very cool. Well, I guess we can keep it, and I will dissolve maybe this edge. I'm not quite sure. Do we need to dissolve it? All right, I guess we can do that. And I will select these edges and maybe move them a little bit down like that. just trying to put them in the center. All right, that's very cool. Now I will select these faces, maybe hit F to create a single face, and the same thing here as well. All right, and this edge, we don't need it, we can dissolve it. And if you have a lot of vertices right here, you can reduce the number, or actually I will ignore it. It's okay to have them. Okay, now I will hit A to select everything, and then I will hit I to create an inset to create the frame. And you can have, I guess, 4, as I remember. All right, after that you can hit P and then S to separate the selection. And you can now use this frame again, hit G to move this to the middle, something like that. If you want to be precise, and if you want to put this perfectly in the middle, I guess you can active the edge center and move this and hold Control to snap it to the middle of this edge, in the middle of this edge. And now we got it in the middle. And now we can add a solidify modifier. Hover over here, hit Shift A and go to the generate and add solidify and zero out the offset, because I want to, when I give it a thickness, I want thickness to go to the both sides, on the left and on the right. That's why I want to zero this out, as you can see now. So let's give this, I don't know, maybe 15 centimeter, something like that. Maybe we can go to 20, maybe, I guess. And now let's select this again, tab again, and now I will select all the faces. And I will hit I again, hit I 2 times. And let's type 3 here as a thickness. Okay, it seems like we can't use the 3 here as a thickness because the vertices here are too close. Well, in this case, I think it's necessary to reduce the number. All right, that's very cool. We can do that. So let's start with this vertex. Hold Shift, leave 1, pick 1, and let's do that again and again. And if you want to speed this up, hit Control, Shift, and plus multiple times until you reach the other side. All right, something like that. And I don't want to target this vertex. Hold Control and deselect it like that. And then hit Control X to dissolve these. And I think that's it. I'm not so quite sure. Let's hit A, select everything, and I will hit I to create an inset, and I will accept it, and here I will add 3, and let's see what we will get. Okay, looks cool, but here we have some overlapping, but I guess we can fix that. Or if you like, you can give it a different thickness. It's up to you, actually. Okay, let's see how can we fix this. I will accept this, and for example, for this area, I can dissolve these edges. And here, let's see what we can do in this area. Let's see if we can dissolve those as well. Yeah, actually, we just dissolve these edges and that's it. Everything now looks fine. All right, now I will select these faces like that. And just hit P and then S to separate this out, and that's it. And now I will select this frame and use it. Hit G to move this to the Y-axis. Hold Control to snap it here to the middle. That's very cool. And we gave it, all right, the thickness was 4.7. All right, why don't we give it 5? I guess that will be better. So let's do the same thing right here, or you can copy the same modifier that we added right here. So select this, hold Shift to grab this frame, and let's copy the solidify and copy the bevel as well. And now let's have a look. Right click, shade smooth, everything looks cool. The same thing here, grab this hold, you have to grab this one. Copy bevel, very cool. And now I will select these. All right. Hit G to move this to the y-axis, hold control to snap it to the middle of this edge. And I will give it the same thickness. Grab this, hold shift to grab the window with the thickness. Copy the modifier selected. All right, that's very cool. Okay, now we can use this window and copy it and put it right here. And I guess it's better to add an empty just to make the process easier for us. I will tab and go to the vertices. So let's grab this tab. All right, we have the vertex right here. Let's bring the 3D cursor over here on this vertex. Shift S cursor to select it. And now we have the 3D cursor over here. Shift A to add an empty. All right, that's very cool. Now I will select these pieces, all of them. Hold Shift, add the empty, Control P, and set parent and keep transform, or you can just set parent to object and that's it. And now if I move the empty, the window will follow it with the frame. And now let's select them together with the empty. I will hit Shift D to take a copy like that. And now I can use the empty, hit R to the Z to rotate this 90 degrees like that. And all what I want to do is just put this empty in the middle of this edge. I mean here. And because I have snap active to switch to edge center, I can hit G and move the empty, hold control and snap it right here. And everything looks perfect. Is that correct or? All right, I think we have small problem right here. All right, I will grab the structure and let's see what's going on here. All right, the window frame is not filling this area perfectly. I don't know why I having this, but if you face a problem like this, we can go around it. We will spend a little bit of time, but in the end of the day, we can fix it. Just select this edge loop and copy it right here. Hit P and S to separate this out. Tab out and let's select this new edge. Tab, hit A, and then hit F to fill this with a face. And let's rotate this to the Z 90 degree like that. And let's give this a thickness, something like this. And now let's move this right here and just snap this to the empty. All what we need to do is just snapping this to the empty. So to make the process easier for me, I will select this with the empty and go to the local space so I can see them better. And now I will hit G, I will select this big piece and I will hit G to move it. And then I will hit B so I can use the snap, just G first and move it. And then after that, hit B and pick the middle area from here and snap it right here. All right, it should work, but for some reason it doesn't work. All right, let's try to go to the orthographic, hit 5 from the numpad, and let's see if that could make any difference. All right, G, and then hit B and pick this middle area and snap it right here. All right, doesn't work. That's weird. It should work. Let's active the vertex snap as well. Hold Shift and let's active both of them. And now let's do that again. Hit G and then B, hold and grab this, hold control and snap it right here. Or sorry, without control. It seems like it's not necessary. Hit 5 to exit of the orthographic view, and now we got this perfectly in the correct place. So cool. Now we have a new piece to cut this area, but we got some overlapping happen right here. So in this case, we can grab the cutter with the empty and just move them a tiny bit to this direction away from the wall. You can go to the top view actually just to see that. Maybe we can move it just a little bit and try to put it in the center. And that's it. All right, that's very cool. All right, now I think this piece covers everything, covers the whole. I mean, I thought I should cover this area, and actually it's not difficult to cover this area. Just go to the face selection mode, alt click to select this entire face loop, XF to get rid of it, and then go to the X selection mode, grab this edges, and then hit F to fill it. And you can do the same thing here to this side, hit F. After that, select this face with this face, hit F to change this to one face, and the same thing here, hit F. That's it. It's not difficult actually. And these edges, it's up to you to keep them or delete them. I guess we don't need them actually. I can delete them, it's okay. All right, now let's slash to exit, and I'm going to use this piece as a cutter to cut this area. So I will use, or I will select the cutter as a first object, hold shift, select the structure, and then let's go to the arrow and let's go to the edit to use the pull tool, and I will choose auto boolean, because actually I don't think I will go back here and make some editing. And now we got this result, and it is perfect as I think. Let's go to this side and let's take a look. Yeah, very cool. It's perfect. After that, you can save the project, and yeah. Cool. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one. Hello again and welcome back here. Okay, now I think it's the time to create the door. I have an image right here. We can use it. This one right here. I can import it and follow the design, this design, and we can create something like this. So let's see how can we do that. All right, I will go to the right view and I will import the image. Just click and drag, and let's put it inside Blender here. And after that, we should check the size. I will create a guide here. For example, I can add a plane and align this to the view, and let's see where is it. It's right here. I can move it anywhere I like. For example, right here. And I can open this panel and go to the item and change the dimension. So for the X, we should have 1 meter maybe. Let's start with 1 meter. And for the Y, 210 centimeter. Maybe here we can add 90, I guess. I'm not so quite sure, but we can change that later. And now I will scale the image to fit this guide. You can go to the wireframe if you like. And let's move the image. I will align the image, as you can see here, with the guide, and I will put the 3D cursor, for example, right here. And let's move the image just a little bit like this. And I will use the 3D cursor as a pivot point, so I can scale from this point out, as you can see like that. And let's scale this up until you reach the top edge of the guide, something like this, and I guess that's it. All right, now the image is perfect. All right, when you come to the perspective, it's difficult to see it because it's not visible. So in this case, I will hit 5 to active or the orthographic so we can see the image. I will select the image and move it back just a tiny bit, like that. And let's go back to the right view. And I guess we can use this plane to start. So let's see how can we create something like that. I guess we can start with the frame. I think we can create the frame first, and after that create all the pieces. So I will tab after selecting the plane, and I will grab these two vertices and move them on this side. Something like that. And you can give this a specific thickness. All right, something tiny like that. All right, and all right, we just extruded this on the wrong direction. It's okay to move it like that. And here I will have or add an edge loop, and I will extrude this just a little bit like this. All right, I think 5 centimeter minus 5 will be okay. All right, let's type 5, sorry. Minus 5, that's very cool. All right, let's go to the right view and let's see. Let's check the results. All right, cool. After that, I will select all of these faces and copy them on the other side. Hit Shift D and let's take a copy over here. And I will mirror it, hit Control M, or you can go to the, all right, mesh and mirror this to the Y axis like that. And it will be mirrored depending on the 3D cursor, because we switch this to 3D cursor, the pivot, we can switch this back to median. All right, let's put this over here. And now we got this result. All right, now we can create some kind of connection between them depending on these faces. By the way, if you use mirror in the edit mode, the result will be flipped. So in this case, I will hit A, select them all. I just want to fix the face orientation or fix the normal. Just select them all, hit A, and then Shift N to recalculate the normal. All right. I will hit Control R to add one edge loop almost right here and another edge loop right here, but I will snap this with this one. Just hold Control and snap it like that. That's very cool. And after doing this, I will select these faces and use them, hit Shift D, take a copy, and right click to leave it in the same place, and P and then S to separate this out. And now I will select this piece and tab to focus on it. And let's say grab these two edges. I just want to extrude them a little bit, but after the extrusion, I just want to weld them here. So it's better to active auto merge first. Hit E, hold Control, snap these over here. And now I will select those, all of them, and hit E to extrude them like that. That's very cool. You can grab this edge, hit F to create a face here. Grab this one, hit F2 times to create two faces here. All right, and now let's take this one and select all of these faces, and I guess we can go to mesh and choose symmetrize. And let's see if that will work. All right, just change the direction to plus X to minus X. And yeah, that's perfect. But this one needs to be moved just a tiny bit. I will grab this side and snap it perfectly. Just hit G to the Y, hit P to grab this to grab this vertex and snap it with this one like that. And now I will grab this edge loop, hold shift, alt shift, and add this one, and then you can connect them. I guess we can bridge them. All right, like that. And then flip the normal, hit A, shift N to recalculate the normal. And now we got this result, as you can see here. All right, very cool. All right, after that, we can focus on the door itself. I will grab one piece here, and I guess we can select this and use it, this face. Hit Shift D to take a copy like that, right click to leave it in the same place, and then hit P and then S to separate this out. And now I will grab this new piece, tab, hit A, select this face, hit E to extrude this, and snap it right here. All right, it's important to actually to leave some space, just a tiny space from here, and for this side as well. Just a tiny bit, and from the top, like that. All right, very cool. Now let's see what else we could do here. Let's go to the right and let's see the design of the door. All right, I can use the knife tool to create this design. I will hit K and start from here, from the top. One click, hit A to have a straight cut, and let's add one cut right here. All right, and you can hit A 2 times to turn off this and make one cut. But I just forget something here before we go any further. I forget to active cut through when I use the knife. So let's start over, hit K and hit C to cut through. And let's make the first cut here, hit A to active the straight cut. One click here, hit A 2 times to turn this off. One click here, and now hit A again. Right to the end here, and then hit space to confirm. And now we have nice cut, goes like that. And now let's do it again. Let's hit K and then C to cut through, and let's create a cut, goes like that. Hit A to have a straight cut. One left click here and then enter. Very cool. All right. All right, now I will select this face with this one. All right, something like that. I think we can go to the local mode. Just hit slash. Let's grab those over here, hit P and then S to separate these out. And the same thing for those. Hit P and then S to separate these out. All right, P and then S. Let's grab this and let's hit slash 2 times to focus on this piece. Tap to go to the edit mode. Hit 2 to active the edge selection mode. Grab this edge, hit F to fill this area with face until you fill this one as well. And I'm going to do the same thing for the rest. Grab this one, hit slash to go to the local mode. Tab, grab this edge, hit F multiple times. All right. And the same thing for this piece. Tab, grab this edge, hit F, I think just 2 times, and yeah, that's it. That's very cool. And now it's up to you if you want to give this a bevel. It's okay to do that. So let's start with this piece first. Let's go to the modifier and let's give this a bevel. And let's add 0.5 centimeter, something tiny. And I guess we have some variation in the scale. So I will grab this, Control A, apply the scale to avoid this problem. And I guess we can go beyond that. Let's 0.3 maybe, I guess it will work with 2 segments here. Right click, shade smooth, and let's active the harden normal just to get better shading. maybe 3. I guess it will be okay. And now I can copy the same information here and give it to the rest. So select this with this, hold shift to grab this one, and copy to selected and hit alt to copy the modifier for these 2 selected objects. All right, that's very cool. Fix the scale, grab this, Control A, apply scale, and this one as well. Cool. And for the frame, I guess we can go to the edit mode here. And I guess we can bevel this edge loop. And this one. Or before you do that, just apply the scale to avoid any problem. Tab, grab those, hit Control B, and let's bevel them. And let's add a lot of vertices. For example, you can add 13 segment, or you can add 20 if you like. And now we can go to the profile tab and active custom profile, and we can pick one of these presets. This one, maybe this one. So see which one is suitable for you. All right, we can change this to another direction. And let's see if this makes sense. It's beautiful, but I think this pattern is not good pattern to pick. So I'll try to pick another one. Hit Control B. And now let's change this to, let's see this one. All right, let's see if this one makes sense. All right, maybe we can manipulate the width a little bit. All right. Let's grab this one, tab, grab these, Control B, and let's have the same thing here. Let's see what we got so far. I'm not so quite sure if I can do this, but I just want to add this edge and this edge, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if that makes sense. Well, actually, I think it will work, and it will give us something cool we can accept. Shade auto smooth and shade auto smooth here as well. And I don't know if we can use bevel here to bevel this. I can use bevel, but it is necessary to add small value here. I will copy the same bevel that I added here, grab this, hold shift to grab this piece, and then copy to selected. And let's take a look and let's see what will happen. As you can see, it's very, yeah, the amount is very small. You can't go beyond that. But this is cool actually. I can go with this. Grab this, hold shift to grab this piece, copy bevel to selected. All right, cool. I can accept this result. It's okay. All right, after that, all what we need to do is just creating the door handle. And I will put the 3D cursor right here on this frame and move it to this point, and hit shift A to add a circle and align this to the view, and let's change the radius to 1 centimeter, make it very small like that. And the vertices maybe to 12 vertices, something like that. And I think we can scale this just a little bit. And yeah, let's hit G to move this over here. And let's tap to go to the edit mode, hit F to create a face here. You can extrude this just a tiny bit like that, and extrude this again like this. And now I guess we can select these faces and use them. Just extrude them like that. All right, let's move this over here. And now I guess we can add one vertex or one edge loop right here. Grab this face and then hit S, sorry, to scale this just a little bit like that, and maybe move it like this. Okay. And I will hit E to extrude this again like this. All right, looks cool. Tab out and let's move this inside almost right here. All right. And now let's go back to the right, Shift A to add plane, align this to the view, change the size to 5 centimeter, something like that. You can go to 6 if you like. And let's hit G to move this over here. Tab to go to the edit mode, Control R, or just select this face, right click, subdivide. And you can subdivide this multiple times, like adding 5 here. And let's go to the local mode. I will select this group of faces, or I will select them all, and then I will hit I to create small insets, hit I again to avoid individual insets. And let's have a small inset like that. And then with these faces selected, hit right click and use the loop tool and choose circle to convert this to circle, and hit S to scale this down. All right. And let's scale it almost right here. Something like that. Hit X, F to get rid of these faces. Hit A, select this. Hit E to extrude this just a little bit. Like that. Grab the handle and move this out. All right, and now we can give this a bevel if you like, or subdivision surface if you prefer. I can go back to the local mode and all right, I will select these edges. Actually, you can go to the select, and here we have select. Let's see, where is it? Select random and select loop. All right. Sharp edges, select sharp edges here, just to select the sharp edges. And now you can bevel them, hit Control with B, bevel them and give them a 3 cuts, I guess. All right. Bevel, as you can see, is not working properly because we are dealing with the custom. So I will change this to this option. And now I guess we are getting the correct result that we want. Maybe I can make it a little bit sharper. All right, 0.0, maybe 3, I guess. Tab out. And with this one selected, right click Shade Smooth and hit Control 1 to add subdivision surface with level 1. Control 1. All right, that's very cool. Now let's select this, tab, and let's grab this edge loop. Maybe we can bevel it to 3 like this. And I guess this one, Control B to bevel it as well. And here we can add an edge loop just to support this area. But as you can see, when you add an edge here very close, it will be merged because auto merge is active. Turn this off. Control R, let's add one edge right here. And let's see what else we can do. One edge maybe right here as well. And maybe one here. And maybe 2 here in the middle. And for this area, I guess we can hit I to create an inset. And it's up to you if you want to add any decoration right here, like extruding this inside and then hit I and do something like that. All right. Maybe I can add one edge right here and one right here just to make this area a little bit sharp. And now right click shade smooth. All right, Control 1 to add subdivision surface with level 1. And now we got this door handle. All right, some tweaking we can do right here, like grabbing these faces and extrude them out. Grab this face loop, hit Control plus multiple times, and then hit Alt S to inflate these just to fill this area. And yeah, the result is acceptable and looks nice. Cool. Okay, after that, I think we can go to the right and select this piece, hit Shift D to take a copy right here, maybe. And make some tweaking here. Let's select these faces. Control plus to grow the selection so we can select these, the edges as well. And I'm going to scale this down. But if you hit S to scale it like that, as you can see here, we will have some problem. The faces will be pushed in. To avoid that, scale this like that, but cancel the x-axis. Hit Shift X to cancel the x-axis. Something like this will be cool. And now we can grab the interfaces and then hit Shift D to take a copy like that. And then PS to separate this out. Tab out. Grab this new ring. And tab to go to edit mode. And let's go to the edge selection mode to grab this entire edge loop. And I can take this out just a little bit and then hit F. And I will hit I to create small inset like that. Grab these edges again, Control B to bevel them. Bevel them like that. Again, grab them, hit Control B again. Hit A to flip the normal. Select all the faces. Shift N to recalculate the normal. And now we got this result. Looks cool. All right, now I will select the door and move it. All right, let's move it here. Or I will move it out first because maybe we can add an empty right here on this corner, maybe. Or maybe, yeah, anyone you like. Let's bring the 3D cursor over here after you select this vertex. Shift S, cursor to selected. And then Shift A and let's add an empty. And now I will select all of these pieces. And it seems like I forget to do or to select this one. All right, that's very bad. That's very bad. Let's try to put it in the correct place. All right, let's turn off bevel temporarily to snap this perfectly. All right, after turning bevel off, I will select this piece and then I will hit G to move and then B to pick a certain point, for example this one, and snap it with this one. After that you can turn bevel on. All right, now I can select all of these pieces, deselect the map, deselect the empty, hold Shift and make the empty as a last selection, and then hit Control B and set parent to object. Now I can move it from here. All right, now hit G and let's snap it right here. I just want to see if this correct. Actually, it makes sense and it's very cool. It's almost perfect. Maybe all what we need to do is just scaling this to fill this area, and we can manipulate the structure a little bit by grabbing these vertices right here, grabbing those over here and move them up just a little bit, G to the Z, and you can snap them here. All right, the result so far looks very cool, but we just need to go beyond that by grabbing these pieces and tap to go to edit mode. And from the top, I can go to the wireframe and grab these vertices and just move them almost right here maybe. I just want to make this frame very thick to have this result. All right, that's very cool. So this is how to create this door, and the result looks nice. And for this red area, actually just grab it, tap, hit A, and then Shift N to recalculate the normal, just to fix this area. Cool, nice result. All right, I think that's it for this video. I will end it here and see you in the next one.